is very exciting, very exciting. He's got some obstacles that he will have to overcome. Samoa's very different to New Zealand, but man, it's exciting. You know, he's been in the New Zealand system for about 22 years. He's coached, and Samoa's completely different, man. Like New Zealand, everything is geared towards rugby. It's all about rugby. The media, all about rugby. Everyone focuses about rugby. Schools are rich. Every high school team in New Zealand has a professional coaching them. You know, Taisesa Levere is coaching, Tai Levere. There's every single team, grammar, everyone. They got awesome facilities, awesome gyms, everything. So when you coach a Chiefs team or you coach the professionals, you've got these people who have come through who are amazing players. You know, they start young. Over here, you know, there's no league for 5-year-olds. It doesn't start till high school, really, till you start competing against each other. The medical facilities are not that good in terms of the complicated injuries that players get. It's just completely different. So everything about Samoa is different, which is why it's gonna be interesting, because he's obviously been successful in the New Zealand system. And what I saw in Europe, played 7 years in Europe, is that a lot of All Blacks were bought. A lot of All Blacks came over and they were average, they were rubbish. Most of them are rubbish because they're out of that system. Even though they're amazing superstars for the All Blacks, as soon as they go to a different team with a different way of thinking, you know, it's not their fault, it's just different. England is different to New Zealand, Samoa is different to New Zealand. So just, people think it's going to be a quick success. It could be, but it's just different in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think especially with Stephen Beetham there, I think he's very lucky to have that, not just have a translator, but someone who knows what they're doing. Like, he's done it, he's been a world champ, and he's been a world champ with all locals. You know, just all locals. I'm pretty sure he coached that team speaking Samoan as well. You know, so with Stephen Beetham there, it's very lucky. One of the greatest coaches in the world right there as his assistant. So I think you can't help but be excited. The potential this has is very exciting. I think it's a good chance with Stephen Beetham. It'll be interesting with their selection as well. Are they going with the same players who are already there? Are they going to open up trials again? Does Beetham bring in, you know, guys that he knows? It'll be interesting. So I think that's a good chance for Stephen Beetham to really show his stuff in that tournament. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. In the long run, it's just one tournament. I have no problem with Tietjen being appointed. I actually like it because it shows how dumb the rule is. That this guy can play 22 years for New Zealand, 22 years. And then when the price is right, he can change teams tomorrow. And he can go and coach a team that he has he's not half Samoan. You know, he hasn't got a Samoan parent, or he's not part of Samoa, anything. So he can go coach anyone who he wants and just keep bouncing, and I have nothing wrong with that. Good on him, go get paid. But the brown player he coaches plays 1 second for New Zealand, 1 second, and he cannot move anywhere else. He has to only play for Samoa. That's the problem I have. So you got these older guys who are allowed to go anywhere and collect that money, and you got the younger guys who are on the field getting their bodies smashed, getting concussions that are going to stick with them for the rest of their life, and they're not allowed to move anywhere. And these players are like half Fijian, Samoan. They have real connections to Samoa. Like Victor Vito, for example, he can't play for us. Like, why can't he jump like Tietjen's jump? You know, it's just completely inconsistent. So that's my problem with the eligibility rules, is that if these old white guys are allowed to do it, why can't Polynesian people do it, but to their Polynesian teams? It's not like they go play for random teams. They're Samoan. Julian Severe's parents are full Samoan and they can barely speak English properly. They're real Samoans. Why can't he come and play for Samoa? You know, if Tietjen can go and do all of that, then they should be allowed to also play for Samoa, or at least try and get in the Samoan team. I'm not saying every All Black's going to make it, because they shouldn't. I want to see Victor Vito go up against Alafuti, you know what I mean? And raise the standard. You know, so these All Blacks aren't going to get automatic selection, but they will drive everybody to get better and better. And we need that. And you know, they lock these kids in when they're kids, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and they're broke. So if you tell a kid, pick England when you're broke, when your parents are broke and you need some money, are you going to go for New Zealand with all their money, or England you get 20,000, which is what, 100,000 ta'ala a game? Are you going to go for that? Or are you going to go for, you know, good old Samoa, you might get 500 ta'ala, which is fine, that's good money. But which one are you likely to go for when you're poor? The thing is, when you're an All Black or you play for England, you're not poor anymore. So now you make a decision based on who you are. Look, I don't need the money, but I want to do something great for Samoa, you know. So that's why they should be allowed to, because they're not poor anymore. They're going to make a real decision. But right now, the current system is easy to exploit. You just dangle some money in front of a poor kid, and like all of us will go with, I'll do it as well, man. You know, you go for the money. That's natural when you're poor. So these guys take advantage of the rule, which is why they've got the rule. This rule's made by English, made by all those white guys there, because they know as soon as we get all the Samoans around the world going for Manu Samoa, going for Fiji, man, those guys won't even be at the World Cup. They'll have to qualify. Yes, you know, yeah. But he's also got a bit to prove as well. You know, as someone who's been so successful, as successful people, they don't want to go out and getting smashed up by the Fijians 3 tournaments in a row. Come on, when he's so used to winning, he's not going to go out like that. That's a normal champion, man. Champions don't bow out when they're useless. So, you know, there's also that pool. You know, so I think the union did a great job, especially if they got it, you know, not at the highest price. Because Tietjen as well has something to prove. Or he'll feel he has something to prove because he's been outsmarted, outgunned by this Fijian team who have won the last 2 World Series tournaments, and they won the biggie, the Olympics. And New Zealand were nowhere. 1 win, 3 losses. So, good. If they got him cheap, good. But I don't think they got him cheap. Well, so long as the money is not going up, you know, so if he's not working now, then don't pay him now. That's normal business, you know. Like in Japan, mate, your money will start when you're in the country. Like you're not, they shouldn't be paying someone who's not here. So, yeah, they should. But about Tietjen's strict trainings, you know, Fiji has shown you can't just win on fitness anymore. You got to have something else. Fiji are doing all this stuff. Their practices, they're all throwing everywhere. You know, that's different now. The world is caught up to New Zealand. The world are doing all the New Zealand trainings, the hard out running. Everybody's getting fit. What's next? And that's another exciting thing. What else you got up your sleeve, mate? You know, come on, Tietjen, what else you got? 60 years, mate. You're going to reinvent yourself as well. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest, so I don't think it's fair for me to comment. I don't know, but the results recently haven't been too good. We're currently ranked at the lowest Manu Samoa has ever been. We've just had a sevens team that hasn't won a tournament for 3 years, but obviously they won Paris. You know, the 15s doesn't look like it's getting better, but you never know what they've got in progress at the moment, so I don't think it's fair for me to say, it's not fair for me to say whether or not what they're doing is good or not, but, you know, from my experience, just my experience in the past, you know, things don't make sense. So we'll give them a chance, see where they're at the moment, because we probably need something like this. Hopefully Tietjen brings a sevens tournament to the Pacific. You know, we are the only teams outside of South Africa and New Zealand who have won a sevens tournament, and there's no sevens tournament in the Pacific. Fiji have won it how many times? 3 times, and the Olympics. 4. Samoa has won it. That's 5. That's 5 big tournaments. England hasn't won it, they've got a tournament. Japan hasn't won it, they've got a tournament. This is lots of money, man, because when you bring a team, they pay for their flights, they pay for their accommodation, they pay for their tourists and all of them to come. Like, that's big money. Hopefully we get some stuff like that. And will World Rugby treat him like they treated Damien McGrath and their team when they're sleeping on the hotel floor waiting for their flight to come out? So there's all of that. It's all exciting to see whether or not now we're going to be treated better because we've got Tietjen. But hopefully he brings a sevens tournament here, because that means more employment, more money for the people of Samoa. Mate, you know what? I carved up South Africa. I destroyed South Africa and I got cut. So when he was successful and he got cut, you know, that's consistent with how the SRU act. It's got nothing to do with success or with rugby. They just, I don't like you. That's it. That's how it goes. So I think it's different with Tietjen because it's Tietjen, man. You know, I've been doing all these interviews with New Zealanders and they're like, hey, what do you say about Tietjen, man? That's my boy. You know, they love Tietjen. So, you know, I don't know. Mind you, the PM doesn't really care what other people say, which is good. So I'm pretty sure they won't treat him that way. But man, if he's not successful, Oh man, you know how good Samoans are when they mock, man. So yeah, be interesting, but yeah.